Welcome to night school where the shadows creep. Grab your popcorn, don't fall asleep. The doors are open, let the nightmares play. You won't make it out today. Welcome to night school! She grins in the dark with your secrets in tow. Creed paints her smile with the shame you won't show. He slashes with style, blood drips by the door. Glorious God! This is what legends are for. With the click of his pen and a therapist's sneer, he lists all your sins you didn't know were near. Smoke curls like truth in a midnight hymn. La sección is still smoking, man. Pecados que no se extinguen sin fin. Are you scared yet?
Yes, Mr. Grabber, I'm scared. I'm very, very scared. Not only because you asked me and you're talking and you're supposed to be dead, but also I'm in this booth and I don't know where it came from. And I'm very scared. Hello, everybody. I am Mista Malave, a.k.a. Matthew Malave, the music man, the gore connoisseur. And yes, I am ready to talk a little Black Phone 2. It is finally out, the sequel that no one thought we were going to get because of how the first one ended, but we got it, and I have seen it, and I'm still scared of rotary phones and phone booths. But I am not alone because someone else has seen the movie too. And you know I need some backup for this because this movie not only has some good gore, some glorious gore, but it is creepy in every sense of the aspect of supernatural. So for that, I need Florida's favorite creep to join me. So ladies and gentlemen, Sabrina Ace is in the building.
What is up, guys? Florida's favorite creep at you with Black Phone 2. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. My favorite gore connoisseur.
Thank you.
It's been a minute.
It has been a while. It has been a while. And I think this is the first time you and I are just on an episode.
I think so. We might have had one a long, long time ago, but this is the most recent one. It's just
it's been a while.
Just hanging with you.
When you get creepy and gory together, it's almost like a perfect blend of horror.
It's what makes great horror movies. Creepy and gore. It's like the twins of horror.
That is true. That is the twins of horror. I love that. The horror twins. Did we just deem ourselves the horror twins?
We are the horror twins.
Yo, I love it. You've heard it here first, guys. The horror twins are in the building. Talking Black Phone 2. I love it. I love it. So you have seen the movie. You've freshly seen the movie, right? Like
I have, yes.
Like an hour ago or something.
Like this morning when the theater opened at 9:30 in the morning.
Nice. Well, I always love going to the theaters earlier. It's kind of weird, right? Because like everyone's still kind of like, what are you doing here? But then also it's just like, yeah, it's empty, you know?
There was like a couple old couples and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. But I honestly was like, I don't really like being at the theater in the morning. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
It feels a little creepy to me.
And that's what I thought you would like it because you are Frida's favorite creep, you know?
Yeah, there's different forms of creep. Yeah, and this is like not a, ooh, I'm creeped out, more like a, I feel like a creep and not in a good way.
Ah,
like,
yeah.
You
like
go to the
Pee-wee
theater early in the
kind of thing, you know?
Yes. Exactly. You get it.
I get
it's
it
the type
now.
of creep nobody wants to be.
Right,
it's not Florida's favorite creep. It's just, I'm just creeping in a movie theater.
Yeah. Who's that creep in the corner? Like, and not the fun one.
Wrong corner.
Yeah. Don't move your popcorn, please. Just leave it where it is.
No. Firmly seated.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'm just happy you saw the movie and there was no kind of creepy people next to you or calling you on a rotary phone that's not there. But you did see it. You're freshly out. I saw it actually. I got a sneak peek from like all of our people at like the Brooklyn Horror Festival and everything else too. They gave us screeners, and I got to see it in the premiere at Regal on 14th Street. I always love that theater. But yeah, it was cool. There was cosplay, people dressed up as the Grabber.
I did see some of your pictures, and that looked pretty dope.
Yeah, it was.
It
cool.
looked like
it
a
was cool.
wild time.
Yeah, yeah. It was pandemonium. You could tell, and the fan base is kind of wild too. Like they're definitely different than certain other fan bases of movies. But yeah, I saw it. I was like one of the first ones to see it. And it's been hard for me not to say anything spoiler wise because the question on everybody's mind is how is the second one going to happen? So we're going to open up this discussion right now. So I want to know, first of all, right? You heard that Black Phone 2 is coming out. You were confused and you were like, how's this going to happen? You see the trailer. What are your expectations before going in to see this movie?
I think first and foremost, this is a good time to take the opportunity to say this is an episode with spoilers. If you do not want spoilers, go see the movie and then come back to this episode. If you don't care about spoilers, this is great. Yep. As of recording right now, this is full of spoilers. Moving forward.
Spoilers, guys.
Yes. Big red spoiler alert.
Yep.
But I love this question because my thoughts when I first heard that there was a Black Phone 2, I really, really, really enjoyed the first film. So hearing that there was a sequel, not hearing anything else, just seeing the movie poster and hearing there is a Black Phone 2 before everything, I'm thinking, holy crap, this is going to be great. They're going to open up a whole new world of serial killers, and it's going to be this whole anthology of different killers and different ways of getting away with it. And the interconnectivity is going to be a Black Phone and not what we got.
Yeah. Yeah. So this was before, this is what you were saying to yourself before you even seen the trailer.
Yes. Before a trailer even dropped, all I saw was the movie poster and I heard that there would be a Black Phone 2. And the Grabber is such an interesting antagonist in this story because not only is he a serial killer, he's a child serial killer.
Right.
And he had this whole persona with the mask and he was this well-known murderer and just hid an everyday plain life where nobody knew who the Grabber was or where he lived or what he could do. And the only way they found out was by missing children who couldn't tell their story. So the whole first movie is like centered around this one character. And I'm thinking, wow, while we get a second one, this is going to be a different serial killer. And the Black Phone is just going to be the thing that tips everyone off again. Or it's going to be some amalgamation of a story or an anthology with the kids and how we find this new serial killer. And that's not what happened.
Yeah. I mean, just right off the bat, just hearing your theory on what you thought Black Phone 2 was going to be before a trailer, that sounds fantastic, actually. That sounds like a great way to go about making a sequel, right? Because, like, we all know in the first movie, the Grabber died, right? He's dead. Right. So it's like, okay, how are you going to make it work with him again? But being as it may, with you saying with your theory, how the Black Phone is the interconnectivity of it all, and maybe that mask and everything else is just the daunting of a new killer. Like, you know what I mean? Something like that. Almost like a Scream-esque, how there's different people under the mask, right? And it just became like an iconic figure, right? So that's a great theory. So you have that, and you have that expectations, and then final trailer drops. Boom, you watch it, right? What do you think?
After seeing the trailer and seeing that the Grabber was coming back, my mind is racing. I'm thinking, how the hell are you going to bring back someone that's already dead? Unless he never truly died. But then we see at the end of Black Phone 1, he is dead. There's no coming back from what happened to him. Neck snap all, like completely strangled, life draining from you. He is dead. So the only thing I could think of, okay, we have a new Grabber. And I'm thinking, and I'm like, it can't be his brother because his brother's also dead. Axe to the head. He's not coming back. He's permadead. So I'm thinking maybe there's another family member or maybe somebody else picks up the Grabber's mantle. And then when I'm seeing that Ethan Hawke as the Grabber is coming back, I'm thinking, okay, how?
Right.
Every theory I ever had just got thrown out the window. And I went into this movie with very low expectations because I watched the trailer. And I know on a previous episode, I talked about getting spoiled for a movie just by watching the trailer. Certain trailers go above and beyond to show us too much instead of giving us a little snippet to just get us interested. This trailer truly just confused me.
Yeah.
So I feel like it did a good job as a trailer to get me interested because I'm super confused and now I'm interested in seeing this movie to quell that confusion. Clear some things up.
Yeah. Like, I have questions. Let's sit down and watch this, right? Like,
Yes.
and then that's kind of how I felt too watching this trailer. And then like Ethan Hawke definitely says it in the trailer, like, hey, you and I both know that death is not really the end. You
Death
know what
is
I mean?
just
Like,
a word.
Yeah,
is what he
it's
said,
just a word.
Which
That's
sent
what it is.
shivers down my spine.
Yeah.
I will
it was
say
a little
that.
creepy, but I
Hearing-
love that, right?
Hearing his voice through the phone and just saying like, Finney, you and I both know that death is just a word. I'm like, ooh, fuck.
Just like
The whole
damn it.
paranormal element from the first movie is now heavily upplayed just from that one phrase. Because we didn't see too much of the paranormal element besides dreams and a phone and seeing ghosts in that first movie. So hearing just
Right.
that phrase in this movie set up the whole movie for me.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, I had questions going to watch this movie, right? So, we sit down in here, you earlier today, we sat down, we watched this movie. Now, first reaction. So before everything else, right? So Black Phone 2, it right now, currently as of today, it has a 74% on Rotten Tomato and 6.7 on IMDb. So take it as you may. So like we've seen the movie. You go in there. First reactions, right? We're not going to break down everything now. We'll get to that. But first reactions, sitting down, watching this new chapter of Black Phone. What do you feel? Did your answers get did your questions get answers, or you just have way too many now?
I mean, most of my questions were answered just from the movie doing its thing. My question at the end of it mostly was, how are we moving forward with this? Because Blumhouse does their thing. Blumhouse has got a Blumhouse. We're probably going to get a Black Phone 3. We're probably going to get spin-offs or sequels to more that we don't need. I don't know how they're setting up this next universe for themselves. I don't understand the supernatural elements about the end. The supernatural elements that they set up in the beginning of the movie gave me hope for a good story. And by the end of it, I'm questioning going, how does this make sense? Why is it happening now and not previously? It's almost like adding more powers to something that's already overpowered.
Yeah.
And
I
it
get
never
that.
happened before. So where's the evolution? Like, how does it work?
Yeah. Like how actually does it work? So right. I agree with you. Those were my first like thoughts as well too. Like we knew we were gonna get more supernatural because the first one was more of like this mystery thriller with supernatural essence in there, right? Now this one's straight supernatural, and then we get the mystery, like who've done it, but like the mystery of like how can we stop this guy supernatural, like this supernatural entity from like taking over, right? So by switching those genres, right, to the supernatural, you've mentioned something about the rules of the supernatural that at first they kind of lay down the groundwork as far as this is how it works, and then towards the end it kind of like just changed up, right? So I like, in my opinion, I feel like it grabbed some of the Nightmare on Elm Street vibes. I got it heavily, and even certain moments in the movie that the main character, she's just like getting thrown around, and it's just like that's very reminiscent of the first Nightmare on Elm Street. Actually, Freddy's first kill that we see on screen. And they were like, they're leaning heavily into that. And with those, the rules are basically, you die in the dream, you die in real life, right? You get hurt in the dream, you bring those wounds back out when you're awake, right? So that was very set in stone towards the, middle to like beginning, middle, end of the movie. Like those were the rules, and there was no other way that this grabber figure, this supernatural grabber, can hurt you, right? Unless you're in a dream. But then the ending, now he's like punching people, throwing them around, and like one person is asleep, and now he's just literally affecting everyone else that's not sleeping. So that was the question that I had, and I was just like, well, now these supernatural like guidelines, these rules that you've had, kind of just get thrown out the window. So if you're gonna lean into something, lean into it heavily and stay on that. But then if you're gonna switch it up on us, you got to tell us why, you know. And that was the only question I had coming out of this movie. Like, okay, that and how you switch that up. And then I really don't want another sequel. I said that after the first movie. But now the second movie, I'm adamant about it. Like, yes, you made the second one work, but I do not need a third. I do not need a third. But of course, when things start making a lot more money, we get sequels. That's why we're here now, right? So, yeah, I mean, if you have any more clarity on like the supernatural rules that they're using and kind of if it made more sense to you or not, like, please tell, because I need to know.
Honestly, I'm on the same page as you with the supernatural because the guidelines that they set, exactly as you said, it's very Nightmare on Elm Street. And you know me, I love Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy's my guy.
Yep.
Love it.
It's my favorite.
The minute
favorite
we
slasher.
started leaning into that, I was like, all right, so I'm getting a little bit of a Stranger Things upside down in her sleep world, but also the Freddy Krueger element of the slasher in the sleep world. But while she's asleep, I don't understand the ending specifically when they're having the big boss battle on ice.
Yep.
Ice-capades on crack. I love the makeup for that, though. I just want to give props to the makeup department. Holy shit. Like the grabber with the ice skates like molded over his feet and the mask fused to his skin and the ice like chipping away. Like it was beautiful. It was great. I loved it. I love that so much. But that whole battle on ice made me annoyed because we set up the groundwork that it's a sleep demon like Freddy. But how does somebody else being asleep kill those who are awake? And I can't even say kill because he didn't kill anybody.
Right.
In this movie, he didn't kill anybody. He killed people.
Not
in the
one
past.
person died.
He killed people in the past. But this movie, nobody dies.
Right. And we'll get to that,
fuck
definitely.
Is he doing?
Like,
yes.
Because that's one of my pet peeves about this movie too.
Yes.
But yeah, I agree with you.
Much, but that supernatural just it doesn't make sense because again, there was no setup, no groundwork. So if he can hurt somebody in their sleep with somebody else being asleep, he could have killed Finney without this movie ever having it happened while Gwen was asleep.
Right. I completely agree with you. The gaps in between the supernatural rules that they're leaning heavily on because it's a movie of a supernatural killer. So like they just needed to polish it up a little bit more.
There is one thing that I think played in a factor for how his powers are a little OP. Because in the beginning, when Finney's in the phone booth and you hear the grabber's voice for the first time say like, you know perfectly well as I do that dead is just a word. And he says why he's there and why he's coming for him again. And he says to scare you. It's almost like a fear demon type situation where he's the more fear that they have for him, the more powerful he becomes. And that's how he scared them enough to where he could hurt other people in somebody else's dreams.
Possible, but that's also a Freddy Krueger thing.
It is. And then once when that fear subsides, he becomes weaker. And I'm still sitting there going, this again is Nightmare on Elm Street. Right.
You know, and it worked. It definitely worked because like I was like, okay, that the whole dream demon and the whole thing hasn't been really done as much. It gave me like a little Insidious vibes too when they're doing the dream sequences and like everything that's playing as far as like, you know, being inside of a dream.
It feels like the Further.
Yes, yeah, like the Further, it feels like, you know, the boiler room every time, like, you know, Nancy's sleeping and she like burns herself to wake up and then she comes out and then the burns are on her arm. The same thing as, you know, we get some slashes on the protagonist's arm too. But yeah, like it was very gappy, right? If you're going to lean into it, do it. And I'm not saying give me a full on Nightmare on Elm Street kind of copycat, but I'm saying if you're going to lean into those rules for supernatural, lean on them heavily. And then if you're going to change up something, which is fine, I'm okay with that. But just make sure it makes sense, right? Because at the end, it did not make sense with him just punching and beating up everybody. And it's just, he's not really there. And the only person that's sleeping is Gwen. You know, speaking of Gwen, I mean, we keep saying Gwen. We keep saying her because, you know, in this movie as well, they not only do we have a supernatural killer now instead of a real life killer, serial killer, we also have a changing of a protagonist, right?
Yes.
So now Finney is kind of like the co-star here, and it focuses more on his sister Gwen, played by Madeline McGraw. And I thought she did an amazing job as far as like her acting chops. She did have some kind of like whack one-liners and stuff, but I love all of like the ruggedness that she has, and like a grounded character as far as like, you know, who she was, especially when she's like ripping into the Christian couple.
Oh
Fucking
my God,
hilarious.
yes. Barb.
Hilarious. Yeah. So I also thought that was a breath of fresh air too, right? Because like we got a lot of Finney and he was great in the first movie. And we do still get his arc and everything that he is dealing with post kidnapping, right? We do get him, you know, we find out he's smoking weed now and like he still gets these phone calls, which I also found kind of like daunting too. It's just like he's never stopped getting the phone calls, but now he just answers and goes, "I can't help you," and then just hangs up. You know, so he's still dealing with all the coping of being kidnapped, of killing this person, like, and everything else too. But we shift our perspective. Well, they shift our perspective to Gwen, and we find out that she has these visions, she has these dreams, and it's kind of eerily similar to her mom. So we're getting some backstory here in this sequel. We're kind of getting some prequel as vibes too. And I feel like that alone, switching the protagonist and having it as, you know, his sister instead of Finney, was also a breath of fresh air. And it was one of the things that made this sequel kind of work, that we are shifting our perspective to someone else. Now, what do you think?
I thought it was a good take from the first, because in the first movie where Finney's the protagonist and Gwen takes a backseat to help him, in this sequel, it shows Gwen as the protagonist and Finney is taking the backseat to help her. Throughout the entire thing, Finn is just trying to push away what happened and just forget about it and deal with it in his own terms. And even it shows that Gwen really hasn't changed from the first movie. She still has the dreams, she still has the visions and the nightmares, but she's matured to where she holds herself accountable for what she tells people. She doesn't just straight up go around and tell everybody everything that she sees. She keeps it on the down low, not just from her dad, but from everyone, especially with the bullying at school. But how she helps Finney with it is telling him it's okay to feel how he feels. She's trying to help him cope with what happened, even though he's not wanting to be receptive to it. And I think one of the best things about her being our protagonist is that we dive deeper into her dreams and how she perceives it and what's going on with her and how her ability has matured with her. But we still get the same Gwen. So when she gets mad, and as you pointed out, when she's basically cursing out Barb, you still see that Gwenny who curses and gets mad.
Yeah.
And seeing her curse as a child was really funny. Seeing her as an adult, or more so just a teenager, growing up and maturing with this power and kind of being muted about it and kind of telling herself, I need to be responsible for this, and how personally she takes it, to just losing it in an instant to go back to that child who's just cursing at everybody.
Yeah.
It's a breath of fresh air for me. I really like seeing her as the protagonist in this instead of just focusing on Finney punching his way and getting through it by traumatic events. I like her rationalizing and being a little detective about it. And I love the way she interacts with every single character in this movie.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, she definitely doesn't take any shit, and instead of being the protagonist that needs someone else to help her, like her brother or anyone else like that, she takes the proactive approach, and she's the one that's like, hey, we're gonna go to this camp. Hey, we're gonna, this is what I think I need to do now. And she's putting all these things in motion while Finney is kind of like, no, I think we should just leave this alone kind of thing. So
I love way.
that. Yeah, I love that.
I love that even though she says, hey, I think we need to go here, and he says no, her first instinct is, fine, I'll just find somebody else to go with me. and it kicks in the protective big brother where he's like, fine, I guess we're going. 'Cause
Yeah.
he doesn't want her going with just Ernie.
Yeah.
It was like the cute little big brother moment where I'm just like, yeah, you're going to go. You have to go. That's your
Yep.
sister. Stop pretending like you're not going. Go pack your bag. Like,
Mm-hmm.
just seeing the wheels turning during that whole conversation was really funny to me. And I love that moment with our characters because it really just strikes home where you're like, these characters feel lived in. They feel good.
Yeah, yeah, and then they definitely play upon the brother sister relationship as well too. With Finney being some kind of a protective brother, but also like a coming of age kind of like, yeah, well, you know what, you can't help me all the time, and having her kind of be her own hero, you know, but also playing against the love interest and him being like, yep, nope, you were laying down with her the whole time, like stuff like that, like
that.
you know.
I love
We
it
have
so
those moments that are like hilarious on there, and it makes them grounded, which is great because not only do we have that breath of fresh air with the new protagonist, but we have those dynamics that we don't really see in the first one, that it's kind of like throughout all of the trauma that they've been through. I mean, they lost their mom, right? And then Finney got kidnapped, and they're sharing this weird bond of like trauma that all they really had was each other because their dad had a drinking problem afterwards and everything else too. So like they really are just protecting each other from just every kind of evil possible, right? So I thought that was a breath of fresh air as well too with the characters.
They always protect each other, even if it seems like one is overprotective and the one is underprotective, or the roles reverse. It's like you two always protect each other and you always will.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
definitely.
set up that bond very well.
Yep. And it works. It just works here. All right. So besides Finney and Gwen, and of course Ethan Hawke as the grabber, we have the dad coming back, Jeremy Davis, Terrence. He's coming back to reprise his role.
I'm so glad he was sober.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sorry.
Like,
He has such a big dynamic character with his children now,
Yeah.
where it's like he's not just that drunk dad that they fear. He's almost on their side. And you could see where it's like they kind of took care of him to a point, but they almost avoided him in the first movie. Whereas now it's like they actively take care of their dad too. So he's now involved in this trio of them taking care of everyone. Like every single one of them takes on the leadership role at some point. When he sees on TV that the blizzard basically snowed everybody in, the first thing he does, he sees a beer ad, and instead of drinking, he calls in a favor to get the snowplow to go up there and get them. Like,
yep.
I love that he's sober. He feels like such a dynamic character now, instead of just a flat, like, you are the problem and I don't want you here character.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It's almost a breath of fresh air, and it's almost like he knows that they're a big team now, and he has to play his part when he needs to, you know, and then he ultimately has to go and save them, right? He gets them off of the camp, you know. So yeah, I love that he returned, and he's sober, like you said too. So like that was also good. It's not like he's not part of the problem anymore, which is great, because like, again, the last movie was more of like that thriller, that mystery whodunit, with a lot of layers of personality and a lot of layers of trauma that these children are dealing with, including a drunken domestic father. Like, you know, so that whole story kind of wrapped up, and this actually feels, with all of these new kind of like segues for these characters, their arc has gotten to the next level. So like I feel like that makes the sequel work as well too. Almost like a standalone, but just like the next evolution of it, instead of like a copycat, or, you know, just something that just falls flat and they try to just recreate the same kind of tropes that worked in the first movie, you know? So besides like the immediate people that are returning, some of the new cast, right? Anyone that stands out to you that you like, didn't like, and like, you know, maybe should have had more screen time, or should have died, because no one fucking died. But yeah, so anyone else in the cast that stands out to you?
It's hard to say, because all of the characters that we met seem like background characters. Like we're not actually there for their story. Like you get the children that have already been murdered, like they have a full-on story to tell already. But we don't see that because it's not their story being told today.
Right.
So we would need a prequel of like all these other kids' deaths. We kind of get a prequel to kids' deaths in the first one when we see like where they were kidnapped and the city they grew up in and like the little town dynamic and stuff. In this one, it's at a camp that we've never heard of before. We don't see the interaction for anything as far as how the dynamic went. It was just like, here's the camp and kids were murdered. And you see the clips of these kids being murdered in the woods, in the snow, like what they were wearing. But those stories aren't truly being told. So besides the children that we're seeing flashbacks of, all the rest of the characters feel very background. They did mention that Ernesto was the younger brother of Robin, the guy who taught Finney how to fight and was also killed by the grabber. I feel like we could have done more with Ernie. We could have done more with Ernie's character. We could have had more of a backstory of how he's coping with things instead of just crushing on Gwen, which I love the little crush dynamic they have. Not saying that's not a great story. I do love that no matter what Gwen wants or says, he's just like, yeah, I'm in. Whatever it is, I'm in. Let's go. But that's more on the crush side of it and not the like character development side of it. So I would have liked more from his character of instead
like
of just
love
being
interest, basically. Robin, right? Yeah.
Well, not even just the love interest from his side, but as a character, seeing his drive in this fight, because he really didn't have a drive. He was just there to protect Gwen. That was it. So even when she's sleeping in the sleigh behind him, when she's sleeping in the sleigh behind him or beside him, he's just kind of there like, I'm here to make sure nothing happens to her. It's like, buddy, I'd be getting up there and fighting the grabber with her brother. Are you kidding? Hello?
Yeah, that or like try to wake her up even more or like everything else like that. Like, you know, I also agree with you. The fact that there's so much layers even with him, he's not just a new character that's like been like is just there as the love interest. Like he's a part of their origin. He's a part of the first one as far as like having his brother. He's directly affected by the grabber as well too. You know, so like even something as subtle as like maybe he dozes off one time and like he sees like his brother or something, like his brother's ghost, and like that's just the grabber kind of messing with him, you know, and then like possibly he dies. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, guys.
He was going to die.
I thought he was going to die too.
I needed him to. In part of my brain, I remember looking at the screen, and the minute we are introduced to Ernesto and they're having their little dynamic together about the Duran Duran show, and I'm going, oh, he's so sweet. He's going to die.
He's going to die.
And he didn't. Nobody
didn't. You know how great of a death that would be? Like, you set it up, right? And you go, all right, he falls asleep. He hears his brother's voice. He knows what is happening, blah, blah, blah. He goes down this crazy little thing, and the grabber fucking kills him. He kills him in his sleep, and we get a dead body, and then Gwen wakes up next to him, and he's just dead, right? And that's what it is. You know what it is? That would have been so fantastic. That would have been so glorious of a gore. Yes, there was kills, and then there wasn't really that many. There was no kills actual for these characters. And like you said, I think the love interest was the easiest one to knock off. And then, of course, we need another sacrifice in a way. I feel like the head counselor, the one who bought everything, right? We need kind of like a red herring, like a bunch of times that like he almost dies and then doesn't, you know. But we need to care about him a little bit more. He's like heartfelt. He's like, you know, he's just very much of like a father figure when the dad is not there to the whole camp. Right. So we needed those times where we felt like he was in danger and ultimately maybe survive. Right. But yeah, I feel like there was so many missed opportunities of these deaths that didn't happen. You know, especially the counselors that are just all wholesome Christian people. One of them needed to get axed, and maybe the woman should have got axed. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it would have mattered more if Felix, or who was the owner of the camp, or not the owner of the camp, but the
Armando.
Armando. Mm-hmm. I would have mattered, or it would have mattered more if it was either Armando or Ernesto, because Armando has the availability of the backstory with the mother being at the camp.
That's
so
true.
If he said, "Hey, I knew your mother," And, you know, it was this whole thing of, well, now I'm experiencing the dreams with you guys, and I understand your mother had dreams and now you're having them. And then if he died in a gruesome fashion, it kind of ties the stories together of like the mom's visions, plus Gwen's visions kind of coinciding at the same time in the present. So it would have linked the two stories together. So it either had to be Ernesto or Armando for me.
Yeah,
And
I did.
That's, I mean, one of those two. Even if it was Barb, it's like, yeah, okay, I'm not really invested in her. And part of good writing is don't just kill off a character that nobody connects to, because nobody would care about it. It matters more when you're connected to them. So I think those two, honestly.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I agree with you. I think the love interest, like, he needed to go. Honestly, I know it sounds weird, people that were wishing people death in the movie, but this is a horror movie, right? So yeah, the love interest was an easy one to knock off early, right? But it didn't happen, you know. And then Armando, like I mentioned before, I love the fact that he probably needed to go, but we could get a red herring. He could get beat up. He could be the Dewey and get beat up and like really, really hurt and just not die. You know what I mean? But we needed something, right? Because all we really got was a lot of these flashbacks. Like in total, we got maybe 3 kills that we saw, right? We had the 2 kids that were flashbacks. And then we got the mother. 3 kids, sorry, yes. The 3 kids that were flashbacks. And then we got the mother. And as we realized that their mother didn't really hang themselves, it was actually the grabber who killed her and set it up and staged it as a suicide. So he was kind of like affecting Finn and Gwen way before everything else too, right? So you need an underlying backstory, right?
With no context.
With no context, yeah. Like, so it wasn't. Did that feel forced to you at all, or?
It felt a little forced, yeah, because it felt more like, instead of it being a random thing or like her finding out that he's the one killing the kids and trying to turn him in and then he kills her, it's like so much time had passed with it that it was like, here's the setup for the camp and the kids dying, and then here's their mom trying to figure out the mystery and she can't, so she just goes off and has a family of her own, and then the grabber hunts her down, maybe, and then kills her and stages it, and then kidnaps Finn later, and now is experiencing Gwen and Finn. It's like, it seems too coincidental for one family to encounter this person 3 times. Yeah. So it felt a little forced. It wasn't organic to where it was like this, just she happened to be at the camp with this weirdo and then like encounters him later. I don't like that the setup was him murdering her and making it look like a suicide. It, honest to God, felt forced and weird and didn't play into the story for me at all.
You know, I have to agree with you on that. Because like at first I was just like, oh shit, there's some more layers to this story. But you're right though. Like, it's like, okay, so if that happened, and that happened a while ago, right, when her mom and he set her up and everything else like that. So does that mean he was like hunting Finney down, or like waiting for the right moment to strike? You know what I mean? And if so, then how come we didn't see any of that kind of backstory of, you know, the grabber always around keeping tabs on this family, right?
And if that was also the case, then why do the other kids matter?
Right.
With the murders. Like, why are you murdering all the other kids in the neighborhood if you're after Finney specifically?
Right. Exactly. You know, so that all just felt forced, you know. You know, I love aspects of him having deeper layers with the family, and that's why their ties to like the supernatural, and Gwen's having dreams because their mom had dreams, but we just needed a little bit more. We needed a little bit more of that backstory to kind of flourish.
I hate that it was a thing, because I feel like in the first movie, the supernatural powers with Gwen and Finn on the phone were so isolated, and the perfect amalgamation of her powers kind of mixing with an ability that he can sense. Yeah. Versus now, the grabber is just like all over again, where it's there was no supernatural element with the grabber in the first movie. The grabber didn't have any supernatural abilities. He didn't have any supernatural powers. He was just a dude who was super creepy and played creepy games with kids, okay? It wasn't so much a thing where it's like, oh, well, he has this innate ability. We have to work around the ability. He's just a dude.
Right.
He's
right.
just
he
a
was
dude.
just a maniac. He was just
Yeah,
a maniac.
he's just a
kidnapping
crazed
kids
dude.
and killing them.
So now that he's part of this supernatural element, I hate that we're trying to force it in. It feels like a strong arm of, well, now he can do this. And it's like, all right, so what? In the third movie, he's going to be able to be a zombie and steal somebody's body like an invasion of the body snatchers? Like, what are we doing?
Maybe.
Just let him be a dude.
Maybe
The
it's out there
supernatural
now.
element, I mean, if they're going to steal my idea, at least give me a cut of the profit.
For real.
But it's
Executive
just the fact
producer
of, like, you could just keep the supernatural element to itself contained. She could still experience these dreams and experience these issues, and there could be a different killer.
Right.
But if you're going to do the grabber again, why are we now making him OP?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
mean,
know.
it just
It's
it
weird.
just it felt really forced. It felt really forced. And like I kind of didn't let that bother me as much because I was like taking it with a grain of salt. But you know, now that we're breaking down, and this is why we love doing this, because like you get different aspects of what you've kind of watched as we are breaking it all down. And it's almost like it was unnecessary, right? We could have just left it as a suicide, and like because she was getting so many visions and like trauma from this person that she kind of knew, that like whatever, but like for him to be the catalyst and be the person who kind of killed her and then staged her suicide, and then like didn't really have any other ulterior motive to do what he was doing to her, and then later on kidnaps her son. Like, it's just, you didn't put two and two together, like, because we were just made out to believe that Finney was just another kid that he was kidnapped, like, you know, by the grabber. But now there's this whole underlying story and underlying motive with this killer because it's supernatural now. It's just kind of something that it's like, if you're gonna do that, explore it a little bit more, give us a little bit more, especially because this movie, like, it sets up a lot of stuff, but it was kind of late to get going. Like I you know, like it sets up everything. It sets up like a different setting that we're in, which is the camp. And like, you know, I love all the icy visuals and everything else that we got from it.
Colorado's beautiful like that, but like,
yeah,
what?
Like, you know
I'm
what I
glad
mean?
you
Like,
brought up the difference though, because going back, I do have a question for you after this,
Yeah.
but it's going back to the setup and everything, how the movie was slow to get going. I feel like they could have done a better job at just jumping right into the action of the dreams. Since she's been having these dreams, we really didn't need the setup of like a where are they now situation.
right, right.
We could have just jumped right into the action of like her waking up with a terrifying dream, and then we see them go about their day to day for the where are they now. So the setup was a little
Agreed.
bit weird for it too. And also to your point of kind of interconnecting the stories, I feel like we could do a better job at connecting the stories. So if we wanted to bring back the grabber, Ethan Hawke's grabber, since he's there talking on the phone, they could have had to use the grabber's information to help them solve the mystery of who's killing these kids at the camp in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And the grabber can lie to them, and then the mom could direct them one way, and then it's this mental battle of who's right and who's wrong. We have to listen to this creep, and then we also have to listen to our mother over the phone.
Yeah.
And the grabber didn't have to be part of the supernatural element besides the phone.
Right. I
how-
like that.
How would you rewrite it for the supernatural element?
Yeah, almost to the point where the mom is kind of like guiding them to the lost souls. Like, I love the fact that he got power because of the bodies that that was left unsolved, right? Because that's something that supernatural movies like do a lot, as far as like, hey, you have to find this body and release the souls, you know, so then that way they have no more power over the entity, right? So I really love that gave him that power. But I agree with you. I feel like the phone aspect, to switch it up just to have the mom be the person that they're talking to. Almost like the first one, how he had Finney had all the victims talking to him to try to help him. Right. So with Gwen, it's like, yeah, have the dreams of the grabber and make them as real as they were, and all that jazz. But when Finney's answering that phone, it's just like, you know what I mean? His mom, like, you know what I mean? Like, and now it adds a little bit more layer of, wait a minute, my mom, like, what does he have to do with it? And now you have more mystery on like what's going on. Your mom went to this camp. Your mom went this and that, right? So I loved all of that aspect. I don't want to say go full Freddy Krueger and like at the end bring him back to the real world and try to kill him, but like I almost felt like we needed that. Because we didn't get any kills in the dreams and in any of the supernatural stuff, right? We just got flashback kills, and I was just like, again, call me crazy, but we got kills in the first one. We needed to see, like, as crazy and creepy as all of the moments with the grabbers were, and the costume design and the makeup that they have for the grabber in this movie is phenomenal, because
the only reason
like
I
you said
overlooked
with the ice skates being molded onto his feet, and like the same thing with the mask, and then when they start ripping pieces of the mask, you just see like his skeleton, and like that was fantastic, right? So I love that.
That was glorious gore to me.
That was definitely glorious gore.
It was beautiful.
That was definitely glorious gore, because then you get the nice little. You even get some of the gore and like the blood just kind of like reaching out, like that string of like saliva kind of coming from
coagulated blood too. That was just like underneath, pulling at the mask, and then like you see the skeletal teeth like going up into his lip, and then like
it's like you don't see the gum anymore.
Mask, it's like his whole face is gone, so the mask was his face the whole time. It was like, ooh.
Yeah, it was just
it's
like,
creepy.
Ugh. But
it's
then
creepy.
I was just like, it was definitely creepy. It was definitely creepy. But did it get you in a corner?
I do have someone new in the corner. So imagine you've been fighting this demon in the dream world this whole time. And it's the same demon that used to be just a man that your brother tried to escape from. Successfully, he did. And now this demon is back in your dreams. And during this whole big ice-capades, Freddy Krueger on ice, you remove a mask. A mask with a face in it. And I'm putting the grabber once again in the creep corner, not only because he's just a big creepy weirdo who likes to kill kids. The new grabber, new in quotes, makes me realize that mask was his face the whole time. And that moment was just kind of creepy to me, because every time we're reminded, even in the beginning of the movie, when Finney says, "I'll scratch your face," from the first movie, and he goes, "What? This face?" And in his previous life in the first movie, he could put that mask on and become who he needed to be, become the grabber. Without that mask, he was never the grabber. In this second movie, he is only the grabber. There is no alternate persona. That mask is him. It is his face. And I think that's fucking creepy.
Fucking creepy.
It was well done in a creepy way.
Oh, yeah. I got to agree with you. And this is why you are Father's favorite creep. You're my favorite creep, honestly. Because I agree with you. That alone, it was just like, well done, Black Phone. Well done, Blumhouse. You did something right. I still don't understand why you didn't go full Nightmare, but you did this right, so I'll allow it.
They hired the right makeup team.
They did. They really did. And not
They're
only the makeup team, like, yes, they are. And they're also very good at visuals, right? So I want to talk a little bit about the cinematography and the setting of this movie, because I love the fact that when we are in a dream sequence, it's like grainy and like almost like 8-bit kind of like, like esque, like not 8-bit, like 8 millimeter, right? And we get all of those dream sequences in that form of like kind of old school. So that way it differentiates the fact that we're not in a dream, right? I thought that was visually pleasing. It got a little wonky towards the end when we were flashing back and forth, but I'll allow it because it was so well done. Because it kind of immerses you even more in it. I don't know if you felt that, but like every time I went to those grainy sequences, it kind of like put you on a little bit of an edge, right? And I think that was what it was made to do. But I thought that was fantastic. It was a perfect way to kind of like keep that creepiness of the first one, but elevated here in the second one.
I'm glad that you brought this up. Do you remember the movie Sinister, also
Yes.
starring Ethan Hawke?
Yes.
Remember those 8 millimeter films that were going through the reels where he could see the kids dying? It felt very reminiscent of that when we're in the dream sequence. So every time it went off, I'm just like, oh, I'm just watching Sinister again, Ethan Hawke included.
Yeah,
and it was really cool.
Yeah, I really love that too. Yeah.
Like I can hear the theme, like the drums playing behind me, and I'm just like, this is just Sinister.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's
like
why
the
I
dream
even said it.
sequence.
Like, the fact that it was like Sinister meets Nightmare on Elm Street, but Black Phone,
It was like Sinister, Black Phone, Stranger Things, and Nightmare on Elm Street all in one.
But you know what all of those movies had that this one didn't?
Kills?
Kills. Fucking kills. I just like that's the only like biggest pet peeve of this movie is the fact that no one dies. Like you have so many characters and some of them that no one even cares about. Like you could definitely give them the old but we don't get 'em.
one.
At least one. I'm sorry, it had to be the love interest. It had to be Robin. It had to be him.
Either
Like,
him
I
or
don't-
Armando for me. I mean, I already
Yeah.
said my piece. One of
Right,
those
yeah.
two. Someone who's already a little connected to the story, that would be way more connected if they died.
Right. And I feel like for my case is Robin, the love interest, because he has ties to the grabber before. So it's almost like as the grabber, spiritual, as Freddy Grabber, right? We're gonna call him Freddy the Grabber. All right. I'm like, yeah, I need to tie up loose ends. And right now, I killed his brother. Let me kill this guy's in my way. I'm gonna kill him now. And I feel like that would have been great. It would have been fucking great. But again, we didn't get kills, and that pisses me the fuck off. Right? But we got these great visuals and we got a great setting. I love the blizzard aspect gave me chilling, like Shining vibes. And I say this a lot, like when we broke down Thing and we broke down a while ago with Shining and we talked about it, something about the whitewash of winter that plays some kind of chilliness and the subtle calmness of like snow. Because as you all know, like when it's snowing, it's so quiet, but it's almost like scary in a way. It's almost like eerily quiet. And I feel like the setting and the atmosphere and the climate played such a big factor as far as a scare tactic in this movie. And I thought that it was smart of them to go into these mountains and not so much with the camp and everything because that's very Crystal Lake-ish, but also didn't really care that much about that, But I love the setting and I loved the fact that it was like a blizzard and everything else too, to kind of keep them as an isolation because not only can they not leave and they can't escape this supernatural grabber, but they also can't escape this setting because of the natural elements. So they're trapped in two ways.
I would like to know the directional discussion that it was to be in a blizzard. Specifically, like, other than just going with the obvious of like, oh, it's a cold day in hell when the grabber shows up, haha. Or, the other obvious of like the cold, chilling hand of death is upon you. But I really want to be a fly on the wall in that discussion of like, oh, it has to be a blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first movie took place when it was like summer and, baseball season and the kids are out and playing. Whereas this one's like, oh, everyone's inside. but then they have a winter camp in the mountains.
That fucked me up. I was just like, wait a minute. At
yeah.
first, I was like, you're going to camp and they need counselors. Okay. It wasn't snowing where we were, but it's not a lot of sun. But now we're in a camp. Is it winter? Like,
it's a winter camp specifically because they have the snowshoes and everything up on the wall and the skis. And I'm like, that's cool. I like that. But why does this movie need to take place specifically in a blizzard? Mm-hmm. I want to know the roundtable discussion on that. Like, I want to know if there's any other meaning behind it, or they were just like, no, it's just a contrast from the first one. And the grabber's in hell, but hell is frozen over, so that's why he's back. You know, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It was a bold choice, right? It did work out. Yes. Again, I just needed more kills. You know what looks really good on a white background? Blood. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The scene where they didn't want to show a lot of blood yet with the yellow parka when I think it's like the Felix kid got axed in the head on the stump. You see his parka and like snow and white feathers are falling, and then the feathers slowly turn red. And then you see the stump and the axe comes through it, and then like a waterfall of blood comes out of the stump. I thought that was a very beautiful shot, especially because they're like, oh, we're not showing blood yet. Here's the red feathers. It's very childlike innocence with red feathers. It's very censored. And then you get the gruesome part of like, you know, he was axed in the face already. We already saw 2 flashbacks from that. So it was so visually stunning just to see the axe go through the stump and then the blood flow. It was such a cool shot to me. I was like, whoever had that shot specifically in mind, chef's kiss. Perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you. I feel like that was the best. That was the best kill that we got. You know, that we got to see. You know, flashback or not. I felt like that was done very, very well. And you don't have to always show all the gruesome gore to actually be effective. You know, I know some movies don't do it very well with like not showing stuff because of budgets or whatnot, but like in this sense, it worked out, right? Because like it's already kind of like a gray area when you're killing kids. So the fact that they don't really show all like the penetration of the axe and everything else like that, and like you said it perfectly with the childlike innocence with the feathers coming down and then like blood. Like red feathers and then the blood, it was just like, oh shit! Like everyone's up for grabs.
It already gave us the gore of what happened to that child, specifically with the window scene. And I know you know what I'm talking about with the window scene. Where he's standing in the window and Gwen's like seeing him, and she's already terrified as like these kids are closing in around her. And then you see the figure behind him slam the window down on his head, and half of his face just falls off and slides on the floor, and then like starts gurgling, and it pans into the half face on the floor, and you see the blood and like the lip quivering on it still, and I'm like, holy shit. So it's like I really didn't need to see that again, and they showed me it again without showing me with that scene. So I thought it was
just like, hey, in case you didn't,
it's so cohesive and great.
Yeah, it's like, I know we're not killing people in real life, but here's this thing again, and it's a lot more blood too. Like, you know?
here's a treat.
Here's another little treat for sticking with us. Here's some more blood for you. But no, I thought that was so great. Like, I was just like, yes. But that's how gruesome the grabber could be, especially as this entity, right? And we don't get it. We don't get a cool dream death, which I feel like we got let down.
Because even before that, like with that flashback, that's him before he's an entity.
Yeah,
like,
that was him as the grabber.
That was way before he was paranormal. So as paranormal,
it was
I
way
feel like
before he was even deemed the grabber.
Yeah, I feel like as a paranormal entity, grabber's just kind of a bitch.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He can't hurt anybody. He can't kill anybody.
He's a great skater, though.
He's a fantastic figure skater.
He's a fantastic figure skater. He can play hockey.
Those things.
Yeah, he plays hockey very, very well. Very, very well. But yeah, no, I agree with you. The supernatural grabber is a bitch. You heard it here first on Night School Horror. He is a fucking bitch. All right. You could have killed people and you didn't. All right. But you're a great figure skater. We could take him. First of all, I've seen way too many Nightmare on Elm Street movies to know that I'll just wake the chick up.
Hell yeah.
And as soon as she goes back to sleep, she can't fight her sleep. We all know this, right? You can't fight your sleep because you're eventually going to go to sleep. So grab the grabber and to bring him out, and then we'll be waiting with a bunch of shovels to beat his ass and throw him in the water. Like,
I'll bring my baseball bats with nails in it. It's fine.
there we go. You bring Lucille. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I love it. I love it. But yeah, I love the fact. Yeah, I want to be in the room where it happened when they're just like, you know what? Let's make it in the snow, a big old snowstorm.
I got a pitch for you guys. It's Black Phone 1, but this time, blizzard.
Yeah. And instead of a boy, it's a girl. Right.
But
right.
what if that girl was his sister?
Oh, that ties in the first one. I like that. Keep going.
Send us the script. I'll read it on the toilet.
I'll read it on the toilet. I'll be done in one sitting. I promise you I will. And then just like I have some notes as I flush. How about we make him so scary, scarier than anything else before, but he doesn't kill anyone. He just shows us kills that he's done before. Genius. I'm a genius.
And then he can hit people. But you don't see him coming because he's in somebody else's dream.
Right. I'm pretty sure that's not how dream demons work. How do you know?
Did you ever have one?
No.
You ever think about that?
No.
That's right. Creative liberties.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just so stupid, right? Like, all right, so we're getting to the end of this movie right now, right?
Yeah.
We're getting to the end of this movie. So we get all these dream sequences. We get some gnarly ass fucking fights, kind of fight sequences with Gwen, specifically the one where like her wrists are all cut and there's just blood spewing all around this phone booth, and then she's like doing her best Nightmare on Elm Street 1 impression and getting thrown all the way around this camp in her dreams. And then she falls asleep on the sled. And now the grabber has new powers and can, like you said before, can hit people that are trying to help grab these bodies from under the ground. Because that's what's giving him life. These corpses that no one can find still in this camp is giving him all this power. So as they're uncovering and trying to get these remains out this water, now the grabber mysteriously can just hit them. And if he could have hit them the whole time, why didn't he kill anybody when they were all awake?
So it's one of those things that I can't wrap my head around. Because again, he's carrying like an axe, right? He's skating with an axe. Mm-hmm. And he can hit these people and doesn't decide to throw that axe in anyone's head once. Doesn't cut anybody's throat. Doesn't use his skate to like lop off a hand or anything. Nothing. He's just like, oh, they're trying to find these kids. I need to stop them. Let me skate around.
Let me just skate around, trip them up.
Yeah. If you ever get so mad and you want to beat somebody up, so you go ice skating?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Especially if they're literally trying to make you disappear, right?
Yeah.
So
they're like
it's all
trying to
hands
get
on
rid
deck,
of you,
right?
and you're just like, I'm gonna get you, figure eight.
Yeah. Figure eight, stop, hockey stop. You know? I don't get it. I don't get that.
Like he hit somebody in the face and like cut the tops of their heads with the axe, but that's like collateral damage from him chasing after Finney and Gwen. It's like, okay, so you're only after these two people. It would be devastating and jarring if you had a classic misdirection where you hurt somebody else that they cared about and they had to go help them to stop them from dying, and then you go attack other people over here while they're over here helping that person. Crazy.
You would think.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just a better sleep demon killer than the grabber.
You know what? They just needed to watch a couple more movies. They
just needed to come talk to me.
You know, they needed to talk to Father's favorite creep. They needed to talk to the Gorgonosaur, and they needed to just like fix that. Just fix these plot holes. And I mean, again,
Blumhouse, next time you have a problem, come talk to the horror twins.
Yeah, please. The horror twins are right here for you. We'll exorcise demons and we'll give you some really cool content. I gotta be honest with you. All right. You got, I just don't get it, right? I just don't get it. Like, it just didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. Yeah, in 4K, early in the morning. It's fucked up, you know? But ultimately, they defeat the grabber. They got these corpses out of there, and no one dies. And now everything's okay. Everything's just okay now.
Right as rain. Blizzard stopped.
And Blizzard stopped. Dad comes. Mr. Plow comes in.
Mr. Plow.
And he just fucking saves the day. And then everyone's just like waving goodbye to Finn and Gwen. Bye, guys. Thanks for coming. See you next year.
And Ernesto are actually a really cute couple. And,
they finally kiss.
Mustang's pretty hot, Finn. And he's just like, Dad, leave it alone. And then they just drive off. And it's like, the end.
Yeah. And
it sure was a movie that said, and then happened. And then this happened. The end.
Yep. That's it. That's what we got.
So I hated the ending.
I hated the ending. Yes, the ending was a little much. It was a little passive aggressive. It was just like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here in the ending, right? But would you have rather have the ending that we got or an ending that sets up another sequel?
If it's the choice of having an end that sets up for another movie to make this a trilogy, I'm going to say I'm perfectly fine with the ending that we got. But something tells me the ending that we got is still going to set up for a third movie that I don't want.
Yeah. So you think there's going to be another part?
If it makes enough money, there will be a part 3.
Yeah.
They'll make it a trilogy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Collector's box is going to be the rotary phone.
It would be cool, right? We had the rotary phones and everything else like that, right? Maybe like a Nokia, like a Nokia phone or something. Like,
it just goes throughout the generations, and
just
it's
goes
like
through
a
the
Nokia
generations of the
phone.
phones.
You hear the grabber.
Yeah.
Shut up, man! I'm playing Snake.
Yeah. The fuck? Yeah. Send it to voicemail. Hey,
Caller ID is going to be his worst fucking enemy.
Yeah, for real. The grabber is calling. Nope, not calling you. Not answering
Unknown
you,
number.
bitch.
Cool.
Unknown number. Well, I don't know you, so bye-bye. Suspected spam. Suspected grabber. Yep, not answering.
Ruins his whole fucking career.
Yeah. Well, maybe he'll get pissed off enough and kill people. I don't know.
Nah.
No.
Because no one will be afraid of him.
No, the budget. They only allow.
Yeah,
the budget won't allow it. The budget. He already has a lot more kills.
I'm gonna kill him. No, sir. The budget.
No, the budget. What are you doing? What are you doing? But yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like I'm with you. I think we're gonna get another sequel. The movie didn't end off the way the movie didn't end off saying that that's what we're doing. But I just track records for Blumhouse. They just love popping out sequels and did this one work? Yes. Because the biggest pet peeve I had, the biggest question I had coming into this movie is how are they going to make this work? Right? Because we saw the grabber die. How are we going to make this work? They made it work. Was there plot holes? Was there different things that they could have changed? Yes. Right? But it made it work. It was an entertaining sequel. And that I feel is the reason why we're going to get another one. And if they do something with the other ones, they need to either lean more heavily on the supernatural and kind of make him go to town and murder a lot of people. So that way they have to immerse themselves back into the situation and ultimately defeat the grabber once and for all. Or give me an actual prequel of him starting his abracadabra, I don't know, company and start. Yeah, wasn't that the name of his company? The black phone? On the van, that was what it said, right?
I don't think he was starting a company though. I think that was just a guy's.
Just his van? Yeah. Whatever. I don't know.
No, I need it now. I need it.
Yeah. Now I need it, right? Black Phone 3,
now.
abracadabra, and then it's just
Abraca Black Phone.
Abraca Black Phone. You know what? That just sounds like a porno.
I mean... You know what Rule 34 states, and this movie has already been made twice, so.
Oh, Jesus.
You know why they call him the grabber?
Oh, man. That's a lot of solo work.
No. He grabs friends.
Oh, okay. All right, part 3. We'll find it on the hub.
You can't have my idea.
I don't want it.
They'd
But
have
I'm
to
pretty
pay
sure
me for that one too.
I'm pretty sure someone in LA is already making it.
Oh, it's already been made. I guarantee it. Mask and all.
Yeah. They're actually gonna film in Colorado as well.
Oh shit! What a great place for it.
I mean, hey, they need the snow.
Yeah, it makes everything cold and hard.
Yeah. yeah. Please make the sequel, people.
We fixed it! Yay!
We fixed it. The twins strike again. We strike again. We fixed it. He doesn't need superhuman powers anymore. He doesn't need supernatural powers anymore.
You're welcome, Hollywood.
Yeah, you're welcome, Blumhouse.
You're welcome, everyone in the world.
We fixed Blumhouse's movies way too much. Way too many times.
You know?
Way too many times.
Put us in your writing rooms.
Please. We really want to be in the room where it happens. You know? But we're reaching the end. We're about to say goodbye, but before we do, we have to talk about it. We have to see if we actually are going to give this movie a second round, if we're going to watch it again. All right? So, Sabrina, I need to know. I want your closing statements of Black Phone 2. And afterwards, please tell me if you're going to give it a second round.
You know, it had a great start, and the elements in it are all there for a successful movie. I thought it was great until the end, so, I mean, great cast, great acting, great gore when we got it, great premise for paranormal entities and paranormal investigations in there. I absolutely love the dynamics between every character, but no, I would not give this a second round. Grabber gets me once and not again.
That's the tagline of the sequel that we're making for the Hope.
Hell yeah.
He can grab me once, but he's not going to grab me twice.
That's the sequel to the one we're making. The Grabber 2. The Grabbier.
Grabbier the better. Get your finger out of it. Anyway. All right, so you're not giving it a second round. You've seen it already. You don't need to see it again. You're not going to recommend it to people. It was there. It did what it did, and then that's it. You don't need to see it again.
Correct.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't say I don't agree with you, because I do. But I went into this not knowing what to expect. Right. So the fact that they made it work. And it almost felt like it could have been a standalone like movie instead of a sequel. So for that, I kind of like enjoyed it, right? The new cast of characters I enjoyed, and they kind of had a great dynamic. So I loved the building of the world and the switching of the protagonists. I loved how they did it, right? And I loved how they were giving us this sequel. Did it fall flat at times as far as like execution? Yes, I agree. It did. You know, did it need more kills? Abso-fucking-lutely. You know, and that brings it down a lot more. And initially when I first saw the movie, I texted the chat, you know, and they said rated out of 5. I gave it a 4. I gave it a 3.9, almost a 4. Right. I was kind of rolling high on the fact that they actually made a sequel work when I didn't think it was going to work. But, you know, upon like seeing some of it again and like, you know, talking to you and like doing this breakdown, I'll lower my initial rating to probably like a 3.2. Still a decent enough movie as far as a decent enough sequel. As far as making it work for Black Phone, right? But everything that we talked about plot hole wise and the damn kills and everything else kind of brought it down for me. So I'm actually going to give it a second round. I'm going to give it
Really?
a second round because I feel like I think it deserves it just from the visuals and kind of like the new cool stuff that they did with the dreams and the cinematography and everything else like that. So I feel like in that sense, people should go see it and get their own judgment from this movie. And if you enjoy it, then by all means enjoy this movie, right? Like, because we still get the grabber that's an iconic character now. It's shaping up to be an iconic character. We just need him to be more powerful, right? I feel like I can defeat him, and I haven't been in any like horror movies, So
Indeed, the dog could defeat him.
yeah, I agree. I think he would definitely just be like, I found the bodies like 10 minutes ago. We could finish the movie, like roll credits,
Yeah.
Because he's such a good boy. He's such a good boy. But yes, I'm giving it a second round. I feel like people should go watch it and state their own opinions. I do not want another sequel. I feel like just leave it the fuck alone. And if you're gonna do a sequel, maybe it's a prequel and it's like the first kill and it's like how he becomes the actual grabber kind of thing. Like maybe
Or give me another serial killer where Finn
Right.
and Gwen have to figure out who it is with their supernatural powers.
with their superhuman powers, but then that's a different
The
movie.
Conjuring is over. Give me another universe with Finn and Gwen doing their thing, but don't
I'll
make it the
fucking
grabber
watch that.
again, okay?
Yeah, I'll fucking watch that.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right, well that's it, guys. Just if you want to go watch Black Phone 2, go right ahead. I think you should give it a second round. I gave it a second round. Sabrina didn't give a second round, but that's okay. But we've exercised these demons, and if you've seen it and you made it to the end, I hope we helped you kind of fix all these questions that you have coming out of this movie. And if we didn't, then I don't know. My bad. I don't fucking know. All right, stay creepy. I don't know. But that's it. It's time to say our goodbyes. Sabrina, what do you got going on? I know there's something around the corner now that you're gonna just dive headfirst in.
I mean, I'm not sure which thing you're referring to because there's a lot going on.
Some with a clown.
But first and foremost, I've been to Halloween Horror Nights once already this year. I am going again this Saturday.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you want to see more of the grabber, they are advertising for Black Phone 2. The grabber is at Halloween Horror Nights. If you happen to spot him, make sure to take a selfie and post it with the hashtag grabber. And everyone is posting all of their stuff with him. He has a tiny little booth. You could find him in the park. I found him before Art the Clown, and he is a riot. He actually
Nice.
chases people up and down in his little scare zone. So if you want more of the grabber, go catch him at Halloween Horror Nights. I know I'm going to go stop by and say hello this weekend again.
Hell yeah.
But as far as things coming up, someone who actually kills more kids than the grabber, I'm talking Pennywise. I'm getting
Oh, yeah.
so geared up for Welcome to Derry. That is coming out next week. I'm so excited to watch it. And me and our new friend Edie are going to have a blast talking about it. So make sure to stay tuned for any of your Welcome to Derry needs and just talking Pennywise. Talking about Pennywise, not fucking Pennywise like we've heard some people mention before at Spooky Empire and MegaCon. But, just Pennywise. Just Pennywise. My pal. I'm going to find him in the creep corner. 100%.
Yeah.
But other than that, if you also want to catch me at Halloween Horror Nights, just shoot us a little DM and I'll meet up with you on Saturday. Don't matter to me. More the merrier. Go through Terrifier line again. Until then, stay creepy.
Oh yeah. I am super excited to listen and hear all the breakdowns for Welcome to Derry with you and Edie. I think you girls are gonna nail it. And it's gonna be some really entertaining stuff. So please be on the lookout for that. And they're gonna be doing episodes on each episode. And yeah, they're gonna break it all down and give all their great opinions on it. So it's gonna be great. I am so jealous that I don't get to go to Halloween Horror Nights as often or at all, really, like you guys do, because I'm not in Florida. So I would be living vicarious through you, Sabrina, on your second ride through there. And other than that, Spooky Empire is vastly approaching. And yes, Night School Horror will be there. So look out for us there. I won't be there, of course, because it's in Florida, but don't worry, people. We got stuff in the works that your boy, Mista Malave, the gore connoisseur, will be in Florida sooner rather than later. So stay tuned on that, all right? And from just like that. Just, of course, make sure you're following us on all these socials. And if you want to be part of the conversation, please DM us, get on one of these episodes, and well, just come in and roll into class, baby. Because we talk about everything, and we exorcise the demons the only way we know how. I'm the gore connoisseur, Mr. Malave, aka Matthew Malave, the music man. And until next class, people, stay spooky, stay scary. Peace.